Hello and welcome to Worksheet P3. In Worksheet P3, we're utilizing the tools we just learned in the previous section, in the P2 section, but we need to create the proportion before we can actually do it. And so I'm going to try to teach you a way to easily create the proportion correctly every time. It's the creation that really determines whether you can get the answer right. If you just guess at where numbers go in this case, you're only going to get it right half the time. You'll be right half the time, but 50% is not a very good percentage. So we want to be right all of the time. So we can actually earn as high a grade as we can, but we also want to get to the right answer. That should be our goal. And so the thing to start with here is we have a rectangle, and it's got two calculations in the same sentence together, right? This one rectangle has a 12-inch width and an 18-inch height, right? Well, those two numbers are tied together. And so what we're doing is we're creating a proportion, and we want those two numbers to be tied together somehow. So we can either tie them together by putting them up and down from each other in a proportion, or side by side. Being tied together means you have a connection. The only thing they can't be is they can't be diagonal from each other. So in my case here, I'm going to go 12 over 18. I then need to decide where does the third number go. Now the 2 inches here is a width, and so the width matches the 12 as the width, right? And so the 2 and the 12 have a connection. They need to be tied together in our proportion. And so the 2 and the 12 either need to be up and down. Well, I already got the 18 in the up and down position from the 12. So from the 12, I need to put the 2 in the sideways position. They need to be this way. They just cannot be diagonal from each other. I put the variable in the slot that's left over. We cross multiply. 12x is equal to 36. We're going to divide by 12. And we get an answer of, in this case, 3. Now, how tall will it be? Keep in mind, it's a real-life problem, so we can't just say 3. We need to tell it that we're measuring in inches, so it's 3 inches. Question number 3. 15 and 5 tied together in this sentence. The rectangle is 15 inches wide and 5 inches tall. All right, so we're tying the 15 and the 5 together. And we now have a third number of 1. 1 is the height. It's going to go with the 5 inches tall. So the 5 and the 1 need to be tied together. And I put the variable in the third slot. So I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times 15 is 15. 5 times x is 5x. I'm going to divide by 5, and I end up with an answer of 3. But remember, I'm measuring here, so I need to include the label. So I would say 3 inches. Question number 5. We got Joe's reducing the size of a painting. Got a height of 3 inches. Now the 3 doesn't really have anything to tie with yet, right? It's not in the same sentence with anything. It's not the same picture with anything. So we're going to hold off on the 3. We're going to go to the original picture. The original picture was 15 inches tall and 20 inches wide. So the 15 and the 20 have to be tied together. Now I'm going to show you, on the previous ones I always stack those two that are tied together up and down from each other. I'm going to show you I can get to the same answer if I make them side by side. All right? Now I go to the 3. The 3 is measuring the height, and so I have to decide, well, which one is this? Which one's measuring the height? Well, the 3 is tied to the 15 because we're talking 15 inches tall and 13 inches or 3 inches of height, and so the 3 and the 15 need to be tied together. In this case, I would have to go up and down with them instead of side to side because I already did the side to side connection. X in the fourth slot. And we cross multiply, we end up with 15x is equal to 60. When I divide by the 15, I end up getting 4, measuring in inches again. So 4 inches is my answer. Question number 7. I've got 1, this is a hidden number here, it's a 1. 1 package is tied to $3, right? So the 1 and the 3 need to be connected somehow. And then the question is, well, how do I deal with the 18? Well, 18 isn't measured in dollars. It doesn't match the 1 package, but it does match the $3. They have the same label. And so the 18 and the 3 have to be tied together. And once you get those guys in the right places, when I cross multiply, I end up with 18 is equal to 3x. When I divide by the 3, I'm going to get a 6. They want to know how many packages can I buy. I can buy 6 packages. And last but not least, number 9, the 3 and the 2 are the rectangle in the same sentence together. So we're going to go 3 and 2 tied together. The 9 is calculating the width, which matches the 3 and the width, right? So the 9 and the 3 are tied together. X goes in the empty spot, cross multiply. 3x is equal to 18. I'm going to divide by 3. X is equal to 6. My measurement in this case is in inches. So I end up with 6 inches. Good luck on the evens, and send them in to me when you're done.